Welcome back to ESPR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted to be joined by Danny. This is a reaction video to the Cori Gibbs Jimmy Farce fight that's happened just a few moments ago. For those that haven't been watching, don't know what's happened, best way to describe it is Cori Gibbs' mouth guard kept on falling out, got, I think, 3 points taken off. It was an 8-rounder. Some people thought he had done enough to win the fight. Turns out he hadn't. And Jimmy Farce, as the underdog, won the fight. I think the scorecard was 76-73. Danny, how are you? Thanks for jumping on this with me. What's your immediate reaction to what we saw?
No, I'm good, mate. Thanks for asking. Just like almost a bit lost for words at the whole thing. You see occasionally a mouthpiece will be knocked out if it's like a really clean shot or something, or sort of more commonly you'll see fighters spit the mouthpiece like to buy time if they're hurt. Obviously they mentioned it in commentary, the sort of Castillo-Corrales fight, an example of that, but that wasn't this at all. This was just a mouthpiece that did not fit. As the referee said in the corner to Gibbs's training team, like, this is professional boxing. If that was a dental-made mouthpiece, there's no chance it would be falling out like that. So Matt Macklin alluded to it in commentary, and I think he's probably right that he's obviously forgot or lost his mouthpiece in the last couple of days and has had to go down to, as you sort of said off there, like Sports Direct or something and buy a new one, which is a bit of a shambles, really. I'm sure we'll come on to the scoring briefly, but no, never seen anything like that. Certainly not in a professional boxing ring.
No, obviously, it is funny, but at the same time, it's not a good look for our sport when someone turns up unprepared, and it's not great. Like I said to you off camera, it's like you wouldn't get Kevin De Bruyne wearing football boots that are 2 sizes too big for him. They keep falling off. You wouldn't get that. And as the referee said, this is professional boxing. If this was like an amateur show with 50 people there, maybe you'd understand it a bit more, but it's live on Sky Sports Saturday night. It's 8 o'clock the fight happened. You don't expect these things to happen. One question I've got for you. Do you think I think I heard Johnny Nelson say he thought that the mouth guard came out a total of 7 times. And if you consider there were 8 rounds in the fight, that's almost 1 round. And I think there were several times where the mouth guard came out and the referee just let it continue for a minute or so before stopping it. 3 points were taken off. Do you think the referee should have disqualified Cori Gibbs?
It is a tricky one, because if you go on principle, and certainly the rules of the sport, if he's not got safety equipment that's adequate to keep him safe during a fight, then the fight shouldn't be allowed to go on for his own sake. We could end up with 2 or 3 teeth knocked out. In saying that, I can understand why the referee didn't do that. First of all, it's a Sky home fighter, a big prospect, and he's from sort of down that neck of the woods, so I imagine he's sold quite a few tickets. He was never in any trouble during the fight. It wasn't as if the mouth kept coming out because he was getting battered, by Jimmy Farce. It was just purely, that didn't fit. So it's a tricky one, because the referee obviously didn't want to just keep deducting points, because there's no point having a fight in that sense as well. But if you go by the letter of the law, it probably should have been stopped. Like, if a fighter turned up with no mouthpiece, they wouldn't be allowed to fight. And after the 3rd or the 4th round, it felt, certainly for a lot of the rounds, that he was fighting more of the round with the mouthpiece out than in, which, as you said, is just a bit of a shambles, and it's something you can sort of add the litany of like comical things that go wrong in boxing.
Yeah, very, very strange. And to be honest, I did feel sorry for Jimmy Farce, because he couldn't get into any sort of rhythm or any sort of flow, because once he did, the fight would get paused, and obviously, you know what it's like. The referee takes the mouth guard off the floor, gives the mouth guard back to the trainer, who puts it back in the fighter's mouth, and this takes 30, 45 seconds. It takes a little while. So I did feel sorry for him, because let's not forget, I know he's 41, and a lot of people didn't know who he was up until a couple of days ago, but this was his big night as well. And I know he won the fight, but still, it's going to be remembered for this incident. Despite the points being taken off, a lot of people still thought that Cori Gibbs had done enough. Just to say again, it was an 8-round fight. Gibbs got 3 points taken away. The referee scorecard was 76-73, so without 3 points taken away, it would have still been a draw. Did you score the fight, Danny? How did you see it at the end of 8 rounds?
I didn't score it like, like writing notes or whatever, but I really struggle how you see 4 rounds in that fight for Jimmy First. Like, not to take anything away from him, remarkable to start it boxing so late and to get a fight at this sort of level at 41, especially in the lower weights. You'll see heavyweights go into that age a lot more, but at what super lightweight or whatever this was, full fair play to him, but no way, in my opinion, did he win 4 rounds. You could make a case for him winning no rounds, to be honest. 1 or 2, I think, would have been fair. So I think, despite his clear poor preparation from Gibbs and his team or whatever, he won that fight for me, regardless of the 3 points taken off. So I'm not sure who really wins in this situation. It's just like, it is a bit of a shit one for literally everyone involved in this fight.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. No one's come out of it looking great. I'm happy for Jimmy First, because maybe he'll come out and he'll get a bigger fight. I know he's kind of I think Central Area champion, or was Central Area champion. Who knows? Maybe he could get crack at the English, or just another big fight. Who knows? I just think it wasn't a great look for anyone. I would want to watch it again, but I'm not sure Jimmy First did enough to win more than 1 round, to be honest. There's no rounds that I kind of think there's no rounds I thought he clearly won. So I was still expecting Gibbs to get a decision, like a lot of other people. But yeah, it's very, very strange. We'll kind of wrap things up there, because I think that I want to get back to the boxing and got other things to do. But a very strange event. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Danny? Anything else you wanted to discuss on this?
No, I think we've got it all covered pretty good there. Like, you'd like to hope it wouldn't come as too much of a derail into Cori Gibbs' career. I mean, they were chatting about him going into a fight for the British title, after coming through this, and he's clearly a very talented fella. So you do feel for him, and just hope it's not too detrimental to his career, which I'm sure it won't be. Everyone saw the fight that we did, so.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what the reaction is, see what Cori Gibbs does next, see what Jimmy First does next. Maybe we'll see a rematch in early 2023. Who knows? Danny, thank you for joining me. I will speak to you soon.
No problem, mate. Thanks.